Okay, so I had some audio issues with the other one. I think my Bluetooth got disconnected, so it was hearing the audio twice. Anyway, hopefully I fixed it. So I am going to try to knock out another reaction video really quick because I know I've been wanting to do this for a while and I think I'm finally figuring it out. So here we go. This one is on the group we had when I first came, shockingly, about weight. This is after Swimsuit-gate started. So here we go.
I thought we would talk about an interesting subject today, something that I know that I've tried to avoid in my life. I don't know anybody who doesn't use this to either put themselves down or build themselves up. It's their weight. So let's talk about what weight means.
I want to groan in pain because while I am aware that pretty much every woman in the world isn't happy with her weight, this is Rhonda's version of a reality check.
Yeah.
So what does it support you with and what does it stop you from?
This is the largest.
And I talked about it a lot.
It's true for her.
I know, but
So I'm sorry, I talked over that. So I don't know if you caught it, but Towanda said that's the biggest she'd ever been. And I was like, at the time, I definitely had a hard time relating to that. Now I've been much smaller, so that probably helped too. But I realize that now big or smaller, whatever, is relative to you and your beliefs. So, but at the time we were all just like, oh my gosh, seriously, we would kill.
anybody would die to look like you.
So what goes on in your mind? What do you say to yourself?
I feel like I look like a football player. Like, I hate myself. Because I really
Man,
did have a thyroid problem.
her
Took
peeking
3
out
years, and
from
I've
behind
gained,
the pillow, like her peeking out and being in like the body language that she's expressing right there is just so, it's not even about weight, it's the makeup, it's everything. I mean, it's so interesting to look back at this because I don't think we thought about that kind of body language at the time, like that. We had so much we were processing, but she was clearly having a really, really rough day. So,
gained 30 pounds. I want to have my boobs lifted. I want a tummy tuck. I want liposuction. I hate the way I look. I hate it.
When you talk about football player, it makes me think that, do you like to see, I mean, do you think of feminine versus masculine? Do you think of that way?
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you're a 6'8", so to speak, what would you say about yourself?
Well, I would look like a model.
personally, Kim is like, I think she's beautiful. So, like, I understand the physical because I have the same mental, I don't know, standards or something where that long, skinny, is pretty. Although many years after this, I found CrossFit and now I prefer strong. And honestly, maybe a little football player, right? If you think about it. Because I definitely like to have muscles myself.
Instead of a football player.
Okay. Be a girl?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a girl now?
No, not at all. Not today.
I feel like we all had that problem.
And so where
Well,
are
maybe
you in
not
your
all of
body,
us, but
Josey?
a lot of us.
Not happy at all. Because I've been skinny and I was a size 5 and I went to an extreme 15 because I got pregnant. But now that I'm not pregnant anymore, there's not a reason to be as big as I am. And I started to kind of feel comfortable about how I looked here, and that completely diminished.
Because what happened?
Saw
I'm
this
not trying to
coming.
make you feel bad.
I know, I already knew it was coming.
But she started commenting about my breasts in the pool. So I'm not going to get in the pool anymore while I'm here. I tried to shop for a bathing suit, but I'm not going to now. But
I think it's funny because I haven't actually watched this scene in a little bit, so that I said saw this coming, and then clearly I'm not that much different than my 18-year younger self. Man, this just, I mean, brought it into group. It's a comment I said. I mean, there's something coming, and I know it's coming, and I think all of these little hiccups led to it. But it's just so much power to give someone else and a statement. So anyway, it's more than what I said, and I think that's really what I have to just get to is it's not actually about what I said at all. It was hers to deal with and what that brought up in
My
her.
ass is gonna be on that treadmill, for sure.
No matter how good you dress, no matter how much you cover it up,
I think it does.
So
your
over it.
ability to be happy, how much is a direct reflection of how much you weigh?
100%.
Summer, you and your level of happiness and satisfaction with weight.
No.
No. No.
No.
I mean, well, I want to ask a question. Actually haven't asked you this. What drove you? I know you shared with us about your grandma.
I mean, I said no because I felt like we talked about my weight so much in my group, like where I share my story. So I'm just like, seriously, like, what are we doing here?
And I think it was your grandma in the hospital, being overweight, and that's what drove you to get the gastric bypass. Did you try exercise? Did you try food? So tell me a little bit about that.
Some of my actors are personal trainers and they volunteered to do things for free. I mean,
I can see in my eyes that I am so frustrated and I'm so tired of being open and sharing everything and having it thrown back at me. And so I can see my walls up big time here, just in my eyes and my tone. Yeah.
everything. And I could lose about 24 pounds. And that's the most I could ever lose.
24 is a very specific number, right?
How much does the gastric bypass cost?
A little over 25,000.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's more than having in vitro.
I would have rather had a new car.
That's a lot. Well, that's a lot of money.
Of course, you all would want different things. You're different people. It's not like I had $25,000 sitting around. Well, I'm going to get to that in a minute.
I could buy a house for $25,000. It may
Not
not be the
anymore.
best house in the world,
Probably
but
not
if
even
I
then,
was overweight,
actually.
at least I had a house for Chloe and I.
I've always been the fan of, if you feel fat, go to the gym. Quit eating McDonald's, quit eating your and go to the gym.
Oh,
I feel like the gastric bypass thing, unless you're like morbidly obese and can't get out of bed, I really don't think that it's necessary.
so like I understand 18 years ago, gastric bypass was this brand new procedure. And these people didn't know anything really about it. It was scary. It was expensive. Um, they have their own experiences, right? Like, then maybe they don't really involve a problem with weight. So I do understand that they were questioning some of my decisions, but the whole idea of I could have bought a house or I could have bought a car or do this stuff. I just say don't eat that. Don't eat that. Like that. And I'm going to say that here, but that was never the issue. Are there things I could have done? Is there an emotional connection to food? Yes. Yes, there are. But in order to have the surgery, I had to go through a whole program where I did get documented to try to lose weight the right way. Or shouldn't say the right way, but the natural way, I guess. And that statement about only having gastric bypass if you're like obese and can't get out of bed, that's actually when you can't really have it. I think they'll do it if you're literally like, this is the last ditch effort, but you aren't able to walk, which means you're going to have tons of complications, blood clots, all of these things. So the idea of doing this was to avoid severe health issues that are permanent, right? And I think I talked about it a little bit in my first attempt at a reaction video when I shared my story, but I needed to do something before these things became a permanent part of my life. So I hear I hear Jennifer. I love Jennifer. I am, no issues with what she said because I was used to it already, but it would be interesting. We haven't really had a chance to talk since I started doing all this, and I would be interested if like how she feels now has changed.
Right.
So, Summer, how do you feel about what Jennifer's saying?
I mean, and again, I'm not like offended by it, but by the same token, I don't eat fast food. I lived at home. I was overweight at 6. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's different. Yeah, I could probably have controlled it.
Okay, I have to stop there. It was so edited. I mean, you can even hear the B coming out of my voice. I was about to say, yeah, I probably could have controlled it better at times, like maybe when I was super young. I don't actually know what the full statement was I was going to make, but I hear that better because I would never have said, yeah, I could have controlled it. But I decided to take out a loan for $25,000 and do this instead. Like, Absolutely not. I had done everything. I had to do everything before the surgeon would even sign off on the surgery. So, and then I had to go to all kinds of like groups and counseling and all that stuff after to make sure that I was truly processing differently. So that part kind of makes me mad like now.
But I don't know. I mean, everybody's different, and so whatever works for one doesn't work for the other. But I was to the point where I was like, if I die having this, it's worth it.
And I
The
was.
women seem not to accept Summer's decision to have surgery, but I don't think it's about that. I think it's less about the
And
surgery,
back then,
and what it's really about
like
is that she was the other
the
woman.
mortality rate
That's
was
what
a
they
lot
don't want to
higher.
accept.
Yeah.
It's been proven every single person in this room doesn't feel happy with their weight. We all want to be somewhere else with our weight, and maybe that will be the
Always.
magic moment where we'll feel sexual and sensual and beautiful. And what if I
100%.
said to you, as we work on the insides, the outside, you'll feel better about that? So tonight you're gonna have a special guest come to the Starting Over house. I'm not gonna say anything else.
You just never know what Rhonda has up her sleeve. So, I'm really anticipating to finding out who it is.
Okay?
Yeah.
7:30 special guest coming to the Starting Over house.
So, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was 100% me. I think that's still me. I thought I would lose all this weight and then I would be super happy and everything would work out. And then I lost a bunch of weight. And then, 18 years later, I've gained probably about half of it. I'd have to do some math here, but I've probably gained about half of it back between age, COVID, and, just time, I guess. Um, the difference is now I know, I mean, because I'm over 40, obviously there's some hormones and stuff that aren't fun to deal with, but that make it a little harder to do. But I know that I can get there now. And if you're following um, following me on any of the platforms, you've probably seen the videos about my knees and different things like that. So the difference now is because I I guess because I had that surgery or the things that it's changed in me, like I still don't eat sugar. It makes me sick to even smell it. Um, Greasy food, I still want to eat a couple bites of it, but that it will make me, it does. Like if I eat, more than a few fries, I don't feel good. So that part helps. So now it's just battling um, kind of age, I think. But so I know, and I'm already down 17 pounds from starting this whole journey again. So thanks for joining. I hope this one turns out better. We already had a technical difficulty that I hopefully will be able to fully edit out. So until next time, talk to you later.